Namaskar. Welcome to Prakash on Basics. Today I'm going to explain a concept that is known as the Triguna. Tri means three, and gunas are qualities, attributes, peculiarities, or properties of a number of things that are around us, including ourselves. They are known as the Sattva Guna, the Rajo Guna, and the Tamo Guna. I'll use the same three words throughout, but I'll deal with their meanings in the beginning. These words were found to be significant by our sages thousands of years ago, and they are equally significant even today, and were significant in between also. But their meanings have changed or altered to a small extent over all this time. So, to simplify things, I'll deal with them in two independent parts. Today, we'll see how they are defined and explained in the Hindu scriptures. I'll specifically talk of the Sankhya Darshan, the Bhagwat Geeta, and the Vivek Chudamani by Adi Shankaracharya. Even the Gita mentions that these three words originate from the Sankhya Darshan or the Sankhya philosophy. In the 18th chapter of the Gita, Krishna explains most of these concepts very clearly. He begins by saying that as per Sankhya philosophy, due to the difference in the Sattva, Raja, and Tama gunas, there are three different types of knowledge, that is Jnana, Karma, that is actions, Kartas, that is the ones who perform these actions, the pleasures that are obtained from these, and the aspect of the strength of doing this, the determination that we have within us. This too is of three different types. He begins with knowledge. There are so many different living forms. Still, all of them have the same spiritual nature. This is the sattvic knowledge. The knowledge by which every living organism seems to be a different, independent entity is the rajas knowledge. The self centered, limited knowledge, totally lacking reasoning, is the tamasi or the tamas knowledge. Its single objective is self satisfaction. And then the actions, the karma, the sattvic karma is actions without attachment, without love or hate towards the actions, without expectations of benefits, what's typically referred to as nishkama karma. This is like the decisions made by a judge, for example. And then when you do something with a lot of efforts and expect some rewards and benefits from it, which are supposed to satisfy you and your own ego, and then you are very sure that this is something that I have done, such a karma or such an action is rajasa karma. Then there is the lawless behavior, causing harm to others, destructive, causing death and violence, done without realizing one's own abilities and the after effects that it would have. Such karma, such action is known as tamasa karma. And what about people who do this? They are the karta. The karta is the one who is the doer, the one who acts, takes action. This too has been categorized in the Gita. The sattvic karta is without an ego issue. He works with determination, dedication, and enthusiasm. He is qualified to do whatever he is undertaking and is capable for it. He is undeterred by whether it is successful or there is a failure. He is unaffected by the success or failure. And then the Rajasakarta is the highly attached one to the outcome of the actions. The Gita defines him as greedy, envious, and impure. He gives in to joy and sorrow, depending upon the results. And the third category, the Tamasakarta, his actions are usually unlawful, against the Shastras. He is adamant, a cheat, a lazy person, a time waster, selfish, materialistic, giving in to base instincts. And then uh, Gita says that even intellect and determination can be similarly classified and explained. The intellect, the sattvic buddhi, has the ability to discriminate between dharma and adharma, ideal behavior and improper behavior, religion and non religious activities. It can discriminate between nivrutti, that is unattached, uninfluenced behavior, and pravrutti, that is natural, instinctive behavior. It can determine what is good, what is to be feared, what is not to be feared, what is right, and what is wrong. It can determine what will keep you attached to this earthly situations, bound to it, and what will lead you to moksha, that is salvation and liberation. Such an intellect is sattvic intellect. The rajas intellect cannot discriminate or decide between dharma and adharma, or what to do and what not to do correctly at a particular instant. And the tamas intellect is ignorant. It accepts dharma itself to be wrong. So it follows the adharma. So it is against the laws. And it is always in the mood of interpreting things in the wrong manner, with the wrong meaning, and following it. The Gita uses the word dhruti or dharana shakti, the ability to possess or sustain something, or its capacity or strength to do something. This dharana is also classified in three different forms. If with the help of yogic practices, this determination ably controls the mind, life, and senses, then it is said to be sattvic. If this determination helps to achieve dharma, artha, and kama, that is good behavior, real behavior, adequate behavior, which is all included in the dharma, artha to manage finances, and kama to take care of your desires, then this ability is said to be rajasa in nature. It is always desirous of the benefits of the outcome. So it is interested in the phala prapti, as we've talked of long back. If this If due to such determination a person lives in the dream world in ignorance and does not become free of fear, grief, irritability, then this determination or capacity is tamasi in nature. And then the pleasure or happiness is also classified in different ways. The pleasure or happiness, which is at the tip like a poison, in the beginning like a poison, but in its effect or later on, it is like amruta, the nectar. Then such pleasure is said to be sattvic sukha. Is it possible to have a sukha of this sort? Bad in the beginning and very pleasing at the end. Think of the boon given to ladies, childbirth, and that painful event is nothing but bliss throughout later on. Isn't that really sattvic sukha that we talk of? And then the happiness that arises out of the satisfaction of senses is amruta in the beginning, but becomes or acts or feels like poison later on, is said to be the rajasa sukha. Keep staring at the early morning sun, and it's so pleasant. And do that for half an hour, and your eyes begin to water, and it becomes very painful. Think of what happens in winter season. You sit near a fire, basking in the radiation that's coming along. Keep your hands close by. You feel very warm and good and nice in the beginning. But as time passes, your hands begin to scorch. Your face begins to scorch. And things start getting painful. That exactly probably is what is meant by what we talk of as the Rajasa Sukha. And then the happiness that arises out of delusion without proper realization, out of laziness, out of stupor, out of wrongdoing, is said to be tamasa happiness. The influence of drugs, the influence of liquor to a very large extent, is all extremely addictive, beautiful in the beginning, painful and harmful as it gets along, and very difficult to get away from, and bad not only for yourself but for others too. That exactly is what is meant by the tamasa sukha, the joy you get out of drugs. This then is what the Gita talks of. The examples, of course, are not a part of that. But then Shankaracharya, in his Vivek Chudamani, explains this a little more. He has something else to add. All activity resulting due to the mind is influenced by many emotions: rag, lobh, kam, krodh, moh, mad, matsar, asuya, abhiman, meaning anger, greed, desire, love, attraction, jealousy, pride, fever. All these are behind every activity that we do, directly or indirectly. These are all related to Rajoguna, all controlled and influenced by emotions. The strong instinctive desires are due to Tamoguna. We perceive things in the way they really are not. Ignorance, laziness, sleep, stupor, inertia, wrongdoing are all its characteristics, say Shankaracharya. And then happiness, self realization, peace and tranquility, satisfaction and steadfastness in the Lord are all characteristics of the Sattva Guna. Shankaracharya says that Sattva Guna is like pure water. And when it is tainted by the Tamo Guna and the Rajo Guna, it results in the different personalities that we see among humans and in a variety of things that are around us. In the Sankhya Darshan, there are two entities that it talks of, the Purusha and the Prakriti. The Purusha is the supreme consciousness, very similar to the Brahma that we talked of, and it is without any of these guna. So it is said to be nirguna. While Prakriti is all the other stuff other than the Purusha, all material world, the Jada that is around us. The Purusha is nirguna, without gunas, while Prakriti is with gunas, that is, it is saguna. These are the concepts that have been talked of in these three major scriptures of the past. So, with this concept of Triguna, let us try and look at their practical aspects next time. How they affect us even today, and how do we identify and relate to them even today. If you have liked whatever I have said, please like and subscribe to this channel and let your friends also know of this knowledge about ourselves of the Trigunas. We'll go into the details in their present day situation next time. Till we meet again next Saturday. Namaskar.